Chapter 1. A sinister invitation. The wind howled through the corridors of the abandoned Paraguay Asylum, carrying with it a chill that seemed to penetrate the very bones of anyone unfortunate enough to be nearby. Locals spoke in hushed tones of the mysteries that lay within its decaying walls, rumors of the tortured souls that still roamed its halls. It was on a moonlit night, when the air was draped with an eerie silence, that Dr. Victor Moncrief's curiosity got the better of him. A renowned psychiatrist with an insatiable thirst for the unknown, he found the haunting tales of the asylum too enticing to ignore. With a trembling heart, he stepped past the threshold, his lantern casting a flickering glow that danced on the desolate walls. As he explored the labyrinthine corridors, Dr. Moncrief's excitement mingled with a sense of trepidation. The atmosphere grew denser, suffocating him with each step. Strange portraits adorned the walls, their eyes following him with malicious intent. Shadows slithered along the floor, whispering secrets only the deranged could comprehend. A long-forgotten sense of dread washed over him, but he pressed on, unable to resist the allure of the asylum's sinister past. Suddenly, the air grew still, and Dr. Moncrief found himself in a dilapidated room. The floor creaked with every movement as he approached a rusted metal door. His hand hesitated for a moment, a voice in his mind urging him to turn back, but his curiosity pushed him forward. The door groaned open, revealing a hidden chamber bathed in an ethereal glow. A dusty table stood at the center, adorned with an ancient-looking document and a blood-red quill. Drawing closer, Dr. Moncrief's eyes widened in disbelief as he read the invitation scrawled upon the parchment. "Greetings, Dr. Moncrief," the invitation whispered, its voice laced with foreboding. "If you dare to uncover the truth that lies within these walls, come to the midnight rendezvous in the asylum's forgotten chapel. Prepare yourself for a nightmare unlike any other." Dr. Moncrief's heart raced, his mind filled with a mixture of fear and excitement. He glanced at the invitation once more, inked in grotesque letters that seemed to pulsate with an otherworldly energy. The unknown beckoned to him, and he accepted its macabre invitation. As midnight approached, the silence of the asylum deepened. Shadows danced wildly in the flickering candlelight as Dr. Moncrief stood alone in the dilapidated chapel. A sense of anticipation washed over him, accompanied by the unnerving feeling that he was being watched. Suddenly, the air grew frigid, and the sound of distant whispers filled the space. Gossamer tendrils of a cold mist curled and coiled around him, a spectral entity manifesting before his very eyes. The figure loomed, its form shifting and contorting with each passing second. "You have come seeking answers, Dr. Moncrief," the spectral voice echoed through the chapel, chilling him to the core. "But be warned, for within these walls lies a darkness beyond comprehension." Dr. Moncrief, undeterred by the spectral presence, looked straight into the entity's eyes. "I will not be swayed by fear," he declared, his voice resolute. "I vow to uncover the secrets this asylum holds, no matter the cost." The spectral figure nodded, a ghostly smile playing upon its ethereal visage. "So be it, brave soul," it hissed, its voice filled with ancient wisdom. "Go forth, explore the darkest depths of this cursed place. But remember, not all nightmares can be escaped." With that, the specter disappeared, leaving Dr. Moncrief standing in the chilling silence of the abandoned chapel. A sense of foreboding clung to him like a second shadow, but he steeled himself for the horrors that awaited. Armed with determination, he embarked on a perilous journey through the Paraguay Asylum, bracing himself for the nightmare that would surely envelope his very being. Chapter 2. Within the shadows, Dr. Moncrief ventured deeper into the bowels of the asylum, guided by a flickering lantern that barely held its delicate flame. The air grew colder, the darkness enveloping him like a thick, suffocating blanket. The sound of his own heartbeat echoed in his ears, a reminder of his vulnerability in this nightmarish realm. As he stepped cautiously through the labyrinthine corridors, paintings leered at him from their cracked frames, twisted faces contorted with pain and despair. He could almost hear their silent screams reverberating through the desolate halls. Every grain of paint seemed to whisper secrets of the tortured souls that had once dwelled within these walls. Dr. Moncrief's footsteps were muted by the layers of dust that covered the floors, as if the asylum itself wished to maintain its deadly silence. Cobwebs clung to his face, sticky tendrils entangling his hair, as though nature itself had reclaimed this place. The stale smell of decay filled the air, mingling with the faint scent of long-forgotten suffering. His path led him to a door, the wood warped and rotting. He hesitated, hesitant to enter the pitch-black room beyond. An unshakable feeling of being watched raised the hairs on the back of his neck, a presence lurking in the shadows just out of sight. Summoning his courage, Dr. Moncrief pushed the door open, revealing a chamber ensconced in darkness. Shapes danced on the periphery of his vision, ethereal figures with hollow eyes and contorted limbs. The room seemed alive, pulsating with a malevolent energy that made his skin crawl. Drawing a deep breath, he steadied himself and approached the center of the room. There, on a decrepit table, lay a brittle tome covered in dust and cobwebs. Gently, he thumbed through its yellowed pages, revealing macabre illustrations and cryptic writings. The ancient knowledge contained within sent a shiver down his spine. With trepidation, he deciphered the illuminated text, revealing a history of the vile experiments performed on the asylum's hapless inmates. The pages chronicled the atrocities committed in the name of science, the depths of human cruelty that had tainted the very foundation of this place. Dr. Moncrief's hands trembled as he absorbed the despicable accounts that stained the pages. Unsettling whispers seemed to fill the air, the tortured cries of souls trapped in an eternal purgatory. Sweat trickled down his forehead, his mind teetering on the edge of madness. In his search for answers, he stumbled upon a map hidden within the tome, an intricate layout of secret passages and forgotten rooms. It seemed to pulsate with a strange energy, inviting him deeper into the asylum's nightmarish depths. With a newfound determination, he grasped the map tightly, his heart pounding with a mix of anticipation and dread. As he forged ahead, the darkness around him intensified, suffocating him with each step. Shadows writhed and twisted, morphing into grotesque forms that seemed to mock his mere existence. He fought against the increasing weight of fear, pushing himself further despite the crippling uncertainty that threatened to consume him. Dr. Moncrief's journey became a dance with madness, his mind teetering on the precipice of sanity. But he pressed on, for the truth that beckoned him was an insatiable hunger, a fire that could not be extinguished. With every terrifying step, he delved deeper into the sinister heart of the asylum, unknowing of the horrors that awaited him in the dark corners of his own soul. Chapter 3: Echoes of Torment. As Dr. Moncrief traversed the labyrinthine corridors of the Paraguay Asylum, the weight of the past seemed to press upon him with an unyielding force. Their stories whispered through the decaying walls, their anguish seeping into his very being. He entered a forsaken ward, the air thick with the stench of suffering. Rusty bed frames lined the room, each bearing haunting remnants of past inhabitants. Faded restraints dangled from walls, a cruel reminder of the lives once held captive within these walls. A chilling gust of wind blew through the corridor, extinguishing his flickering lantern. Darkness engulfed him. The only sound echoing through the silence was the pounding of his own heartbeat. Reaching into his pocket, he retrieved a box of matches, striking one to ignite a small, trembling flame. With the meager light, he pressed forward, casting long, twisting shadows along the haunted ward. The cries of the forgotten resounded within his mind, their pleas for salvation reverberating through his very soul. His steps faltered as he passed each bed, his heart heavy with remorse for the torments endured within these walls. As he approached the far end of the ward, a faint glow caught his attention. He became aware of a broken mirror hanging crookedly on the wall, shards of glass reflecting distorted images of the past. Curiosity compelled him to investigate, to uncover the secrets hidden within the fragmented looking glass. Gently, he touched the icy surface, his finger tracing a path along the jagged remnants. A sudden, virulent surge of energy coursed through him, the memories of the asylum's darkest moments consuming his thoughts. He witnessed the tormented souls that had been trapped here, their faces etched with despair, their eyes filled with an unending torment. The fragmented reflections morphed before his eyes, revealing the asylum's darkest hour. He was witness to the ruthless experiments, the grueling tortures inflicted upon the vulnerable. His mind reeled with each revelation, the weight of their suffering etching itself upon his soul. Dr. Moncrief recoiled as an ethereal figure materialized before him, a phantom projection of the asylum's brutal past. It reached out to him, its touch both cold and searing, and the ghostly wails of the tormented reached a crescendo. His mind threatened to unravel, teetering on the edge of madness. But in the depths of his fear, a spark of determination ignited. With unyielding resolve, he fought against the spectral presence. The phantom retreated, fading into the darkness, unable to overpower the relentless quest for truth burning within the depths of Dr. Moncrief's being. As the echoes of torment grew faint, a newfound clarity washed over him. He understood that only by embracing the horrors of the past could he hope to unravel the mysteries that had plagued this forsaken asylum. With steely determination, he rekindled his lantern, its steady flame piercing the darkness, guiding him onward. Armed with the fragmented memories of the broken mirror, he ventured further into the asylum's bowels, his steps resolute and unwavering. The secrets of the asylum thrummed in the air, mingling with the whispers of the tortured souls that still lingered. Dr. Moncrief would not rest until the darkness that plagued this place was exposed, no matter the cost. Chapter 4. The Final Revelation. Dr. Moncrief continued his perilous journey through the haunted corridors of the Paraguay Asylum. Each step he took seemed to echo with the weight of countless tormented souls, their presence a constant reminder of the horrors that had transpired within these walls. His path led him to a towering staircase, its steps worn and treacherous. He ascended, the sound of his footsteps resounding through the desolate halls. The air grew thick with anticipation as he climbed higher, the essence of the asylum's malevolence growing more potent. Reaching the top, he found himself in a vast chamber, once a grand hall, now a decaying testament to the asylum's tragic history. Moonlight spilled through the cracked ceiling, casting an ethereal glow upon the remnants of a forgotten stage. Tattered curtains hung like cobwebs, waiting to unveil the final act of this macabre spectacle. As he explored the chamber's depths, Dr. Moncrief's eyes fell upon a sinister altar, adorned with symbols of unholy significance. The air crackled with arcane energy, permeating the room with an otherworldly presence. His heart raced, the culmination of his journey drawing near. Gazing upon the altar, he could feel the weight of centuries-old secrets awaiting their revelation. The asylum seemed to hold its breath, time itself holding its collective breath in anticipation of the answers that lay within its forgotten halls. With a steady hand, he retrieved a ceremonial dagger from his satchel, its glinting blade reflecting his resolve. The moment had come to lay bare the truth, to sever the ties that bound this cursed place to the world of the living. The pain and suffering endured by the tormented souls demanded release, an end to the nightmare that plagued them. As the tip of the dagger touched the altar, an electric surge traveled through his veins. Shadows danced along the walls, their twisted forms merging with his own silhouette. A chorus of anguished whispers filled the chamber, their voices desperate for liberation. In a flurry of determination, Dr. Moncrief plunged the dagger deep into the heart of the asylum's secrets, his very soul resonating with the force of his actions. The ground trembled beneath his feet, a symphony of dormant evil awakened by his audacity. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of chaos and light. The veil between the physical and spiritual realms shattered, revealing a vortex of darkness swirling within the heart of the altar. The spirits of the asylum, finally given a voice, surged forth, tearing through the veil with an insatiable hunger for redemption. Dr. Moncrief stood at the center of this maelstrom, his body buffeted by the ethereal storm. The souls of the tormented wrapped around him, their spectral embrace enveloping him in a bittersweet symphony of anguish and gratitude. Their pain merged with his own, a sacrifice made to restore balance, to put the spirits to rest once and for all. As the asylum began to crumble around him, the weight of its history collapsing, Dr. Moncrief closed his eyes. His final act of defiance against the terrors that had plagued this forsaken place was complete. When he opened his eyes once more, he stood outside the remnants of the Paraguay Asylum. With a heavy heart, he witnessed its final descent into ruin. The souls of the tormented, their anguished melodies silenced, had found their elusive peace. And though his work within those decaying walls was done, the memory of their pain would forever linger in the depths of his psyche. Dr. Victor Moncrief, the determined seeker of truth, had triumphed over the shadows of the Paraguay Asylum. The nightmare that had consumed his every step had been laid to rest, offering closure to both the living and the dead. And as he walked away from the crumbling remnants of the asylum, he carried with him the knowledge that darkness can be confronted, that even the most harrowing nightmares can be overcome with persistence, courage, and a steadfast resolve to reveal the truth.